I have a very personal question for you. Have you ever had to pass any kind of test in order to get some results in your life? For example, passing a test for college or passing a test for a job opportunity. Well, your first tax year in Italy is one of those, but in a different way, something you can barely be prepared for. Let's play with the time machine a little bit and move back and forth in the timeline, okay? In the tax calendar. Let's assume you move to Italy by June of 2024. Following from that, your tax return in Italy will take place by June of 2025 for the full 2024 calendar year. The big question here is, how much do you owe? Well, clearly I don't have the answer because the result really depends on your numbers, source of income, assets, and so on. But if you have to pay something, let's say 1,000, okay, to facilitate the reading, we can use this round number to understand what really happens. And you're not gonna like it a bit. By June 2025, unless the Italian government changes some deadlines in the meantime, of course, you must pay the balance taxes due for 2024, so the 1,000. Let's stick with that. Plus. Yes, plus. In Italy, they love taxpayers to pay on account in advance, upfront for the current year. So by June 2025, you also have to pay around 40% of the total due for the previous year. So 400 rounded up. So 1,400. And by November of 2025, you also have to pay the second round of these payments on account, the remaining 600. So, doing the math, actually the tax bill for the first year in Italy is twice as much compared just to the 2024 balance taxes. This happens for your personal income, federal or local taxes, the addizionale comunale regionale, for the wealth tax, and listen carefully, for the pension contributions given to INPS, for example, if you are a freelancer or a contractor here in Italy. When I try my best, because as you know, I'm not a native speaker, when I try my best to explain this process to all the expats I meet, in person or online, they find it hard to understand the reason why, or using more accurate words. They think it's very unfair to be done. Still using the same timing, yes, in 2025, you may have a balance to pay as difference, or if you earn less in 2024, you made a credit from the review agency. And if that happens, you can use that credit in compensation or ask it as reimbursement. So this will take place in 2026 when you're going to file taxes for 2025. So no one will forget about your reimbursement. So if there is some money left on the table, you'll still have the right to get it. As much as I'm trying my best to give you some, clarity about this issue, I bet there is still a question behind that, a question pending. What happens if I don't have the money to pay double? Am I allowed to skip the payments on account and pay just the balance? As I used to say, it really depends on your whole fiscal picture. So taxes in advance could be estimated in a different way. The clear takeaway here is to prepare at least the first tax year to save more money than you think is enough to cover the balance taxes. 2x, actually. This is your test drive, your hardest year in Italy that, if on one hand is there to welcome you with flowers, with benefits and incentives, it doesn't trust you that much and wants some money up front. But don't worry, based on my experience, after being a taxpayer since I was 18, they still want money early on. Do you think they have any kind of trust issues